Long COVID is when someone has new, returning, or ongoing health problems 4 or more weeks after an initial infection. Studies estimate that up to 23 million Americans have developed long COVID. That's 1 out of every 14 people living in the U.S. Tim Persons is the Chief Scientist for Science, Technology, Assessment, and Analytics at the GAO. Tim, welcome.
Thank you, Mimi. Great to be here.
So why is the GAO studying long COVID? What are you trying to find out?
Well, in a number of dimensions, GAO is interested in this topic. Of course, one of the key missions of GAO is just doing oversight for Congress, and that means helping Congress with understanding the current and future budgetary impacts. I'm a Gen Xer, so I remember growing up, and the big, scary budgetary thing at that time was Social Security. Those days are gone. Now the big focus is of course, on healthcare and so on. And so that was before the pandemic. And so when you look at long COVID and its potential budgetary impact, it's going to be large. We don't know how large, but it'll be significant. And so GAO, doing its oversight mission, is concerned with that. The other way is, of course, my team deals with the science and technology of issues. And so we're really just trying to understand and help Congress understand what the status of the science is. What is it telling us about the potential impact and trends and then policy implications of things. So we're doing that, plus all of our various programmatic elements and evaluations that we do. So we'll be in the long COVID business, I predict, for some time to come.
It will be, because there's so much we don't know about long COVID.
Absolutely.
We don't know who's more susceptible or not. We don't even know what all the symptoms are. I mean, this is going to be very challenging for government agencies to try to get a hold of this.
That's right. Just to that point, Mimi, just yesterday I saw a study released out of Italy that was looking at some of the long COVID effects, and the Italian study, if verified, seems to communicate that the different variants are resulting in different long COVID outcomes. And so that's just with if you have the Alpha variant versus the Omicron that we're currently doing. Of course, what's emerging now is the BA2. So again, there's so much we don't know. Things have happened so quickly. And so you complicate that with, as you say, the demographics of things, as well as just the extent of how bad of a case did a patient have something. And it's just really a large amount of unknown. So we're going to be in this, again, studying it for a long time to come.
So you talked about technology. How is machine learning being used to enhance the research of long COVID?
Yeah, it's a great question, because it's an exciting time where we have so many computers available, computing as a commodity. We have algorithms, we have devices. Telehealth has made tremendous impacts on that, but the machine learning is exciting because it's able to look at massive amounts of data and try and pull out patterns to help us better understand these signals, these things that pop up and say, this is what may be causing this particular symptom of long COVID or what have you. So you just had the Undersecretary of WJLA on, and she gave a great talk about this. And one of the things that WJLA has is they have curated data, as she was mentioning, but they have to store it for 8 decades. And so it's a tremendous longitudinal data set that nobody else has. There's tremendous opportunity for the U.S. government to research into this. But it's going to take that kind of large data set and then algorithms to search for those, to understand those signals, those patterns, to pull out and say, look, this is now caused by this, and so on, because we just don't know the causal effects yet of everything, but we hope to do that.
Well, machine learning needs good data. So
absolutely.
Does the government have good and consistent data in order to draw good conclusions, or is there a problem with the data itself?
Yes, so there's typically problems with data, the way it's collected, the way it's stored. It often has to have engineering done on it. We have a thing called data engineers now. And you have to remember, of course, that the COVID is just 2 years old. And so this is still going to have to play out for years to come to curate the right kind of data, because not all, as you're suggesting, not all data are equally valid or valuable. But the idea of being able to collect, curate, ask the right questions is something that's already started now and will continue to go on. And the government has a key role in that process.
Any other technologies that can be used to tackle this problem?
Well, I think the biggest thing is we've of course done oversight on Operation Warp Speed. That's been the vaccine development type effort that has been successful. However, therapeutics were also part of that, and there's therapeutics in terms of you get COVID and how you treat a patient is one aspect, and then of course now what's emerging is the long COVID, and how do you do therapeutics for that when it covers this whole spectrum, as you know. So I think there's a lot of technologies just to help rapidly develop in a warp speed kind of way therapeutics using machine learning, but also using state-of-the-art manufacturing for scale, state-of-the-art testing, research development methods, and so on.
Tim, very quickly, what does the government need to look at next in researching and treating long COVID?
So yes, thanks. I think we really do need to ask ourselves, how might we be able to do continue or have a warp speed like success that we have with vaccines, but now for therapeutics? Because I think we're seeing an estimated 1 million people drop out of the workforce from this. The current estimate is about 28 million of U.S. Or 23 million U.S. Individuals who have this. I think that's going to be a lower bound. So I think that we're going to have to look at this in detail and try and really have a continued focus on that.
Tim, thank you so much for being on the program.
Thank you, Mimi, for having me.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on any future Government Matters interviews.